Boom. How you folks doing? It is Kurt. We are here with the Mañana morning check-in. It's a little bit after the morning, but you know what? I'm gonna go with this anyway. Mañana morning check-in. I have been on Zoom since 8:30 this morning. Just put drops in my eyes, trying to wake back up. I've got some melted ice water here that I am planning on drinking. Right, got to stay hydrated, and I'm wearing my Great Cycle Challenge shirt today. I'm riding to fight kids cancer. All right, so let me come to you today. So first off, I jumped in with Lifter LMS this morning, 8:30 in the morning. Love those folks. Love the culture of their company. I love the products they have, and that is fantastic. Jumped in with them. Then after that, I was on with a couple of different calls, consulting with motorcycle dealerships. Now, when I do the consulting with the motorcycle dealerships, the amount of personal reward that I get from it is pretty huge. It really is. So when you're working with people, and people are human beings, right? So you're expecting ups and downs and flaws and corrections and things like that. And how cool is it when like somebody says, oh, hey, I took your advice and I was working on this, or I was looking for that room for growth. Like I say, hey, don't beat yourself up, but everybody's got room for growth, right? So what's your room for growth? Well, one of my students literally filmed herself taking phone calls or interacting with customers, and realized that, she has a tendency to roll her eyes, or she has a tendency to, smirk or make a weird face. And newsflash, I do that. So I can remember the first time I recorded myself teaching a class for a major manufacturer. I'm teaching the class, I'm recording it so I can look at it later and kind of critique myself and look for areas of growth, right? And somebody had asked me a question, and it was like a real question. It wasn't some stupid question, but it was like a real question. And as they're asking the question, my face is going like, all right, well, let's unpack what you just asked, right? Now, how do you think that student felt as they're trying to talk to me and my face is contorting in all these weird shapes? Here's the funny part. I had no idea I was doing it, right? So I listen to people like Andrew Eagleton talk, and he's like, be your authentic self, do this, be authentic to yourself, don't play act, don't be somebody you're not. I agree with all of that, except don't be rude to the people you're there to serve. And so I was wearing so many emotions and thoughts on my face. And unfortunately, I've been accused of having RBF, resting bitch face. I've been accused of having that. And so when somebody is approaching me, I have to be cognizant that I'm not just looking at them like this. Because if I'm just looking at somebody, if I'm doing that, nobody wants to approach me, right? So I got to stay up. I got to stay, and I'm not faking it, but I don't want to be rude. And so my student is like, hey, I recorded myself. So I was rolling my eyes. And so then I went to my boss. This is key here, right? So I went to my boss and I told him what I had seen and told him I want to work on it, and asked him to help hold me accountable to improving that about myself. How can I outdo that? It's a big question, right? How can I outdo that? Now, would she have had that motivation prior to my coaching? No. I mean, the answer is definitely no. I know her well enough. I know the workplace well enough. I know that prior to my coming to coach and work with this facility, that would not have been on the table. And now it is. And that's the kind of growth that we've had. Now, other coaches will be like, well, that's, so what? She doesn't want to make faces at people, or she doesn't want to roll her eyes while she's on the phone. Who cares? How does that equate to, hours per RO? How does that equate to, parts versus labor on the sales ticket? Well, here's how it equates. If your culture's broken inside your business, how can you expect your people to optimize themselves in either sales or production? So you got to fix the culture. The culture's got to be right. And when the culture's right, a lot of things begin to self-align. And then you can take that self-alignment and you can take that momentum and look at processes and procedures that grow sales and productivity and efficiencies and all of those things. And it works time and time and time again. It works. Second call, I'm on with the service manager, not a service writer. So I'm on with the service manager. And, last time we talked about this. Are you doing this yet? Oh no, man. Thanks for bringing that up. I lost my notes from last time and I didn't get to that. And hey, whoa, don't beat yourself up. We're going to talk again in 2 weeks anyway. So let's recount what your list was from last time. Let's see where you're at now. And let's see what we're going to talk about in 2 weeks as far as momentum and making forward advancements, right? Don't let them get into this thing where they're beating themselves up. They already know what they did wrong, right? And so we start working on that. And then I start saying, hey, how are you optimizing waiters? Do you have waiters in your service department? Are you encouraging people to wait to get simple work done? Okay, how are you getting that work done? Do you have a designated quick lane left? No. Okay, well, great. Let's talk about that. Can you do that? Well, then the owner comes into the room, right? So now I got the service manager and the owner together, and we start brainstorming on how can we stop bleeding from lost sales. You were challenged, months ago to increase your parts to labor percentages. And if someone comes in right now to buy a set of tires from you, which in case you haven't, if you're not in this industry, tires this much, labor this much, it's going to help fix that ratio I'm trying to get, right? And so I'm like, if they came in your shop right now, want to get tires done, would you say yes, or would you say, I can't do that right now? And if there's a chance that you would say, I'm sorry, I can't do that right now, we got to change something. And so, we want to keep the customer relationship sharp. We want to keep your shop productive. We want to keep a high margin of parts profit moving through, right? If you are working on a large job, right? Say you're rebuilding an engine and your profit margin on that is going to be 22%, and it's going to take a lot of time, right? And during that time, you turn down tires and oil changes and high performance repetitive work that's highly profitable, say at 42, 43%, and you keep turning that down to make the lower percentage, you're going to hurt your overall margin for the business month. But you need to have a facility that allows these extra things to happen, right? And so they've got extra staff in place now. They've got, they're going to have a quick lane bench that's in there. They're growing, they're adding brands, and it's so cool. So then now I'm saying, look where you were a year ago. Look where you were 3 months ago. Look where you are now, and look at where you and the ownership are saying you're going to go in the next year. And this is exciting. And I'm looking at a service manager who's young, really young, and who's grown so much so quickly and has the ability to go, man, I can run a team of 10 technicians in a bigger facility and keep productivity and efficiency at a higher rate. Here's the cool part. The owner's like, hey, I see the results of the training. I see things are better. And our service department was profitable this month, right? Now, for some of you, you're watching this and you're going, what is that odd? Is that weird? Is that, for some dealerships, it is, right? It takes a long time to get all those cogs working together and then be consistent. And so the growth that we've seen with this place has been consistent, and it's going. And what's nice is it's not sporadic. It's not, it's not a whim. It's not a fancy that's going to come and go. What we're building is something solid that's going to be consistent over time. And it's really cool to see that happen. So I started this call and I was like, man, I've been on Zoom since 8:30 in the morning. And maybe it sounded like a complaint. It's not a complaint. It's just, man, can it take it out of you, right? Can it take it out of you? After I got done with the motorcycle dealerships, I had a couple of other discovery meetings. As you know, I'm always pushing for discovery meetings. I'd love to get on the phone or on Zoom with new people. Whenever I make a new friend on LinkedIn, note, if you're watching this replay on LinkedIn and we're not connected, hit the connection thing. Let's get connected, right? And I know that mine's going to say, follow me. I don't care if you follow me or we're connected. I would almost prefer to be connected, but I'm experimenting with LinkedIn's creator mode, right? But, hit that menu over there for more and hit connect. And then when I connect to new people on LinkedIn, I generally give them an invitation to hook up on a discovery call. I've had about 500 of these discovery call meetings, since COVID broke out. And what I love about these meetings is, I had one today where It says CEO, right? So she's a CEO. Great. You're a female and you're a CEO. Now what? Like, if I didn't know anything about her, how would this ever come up in conversation again? How would I ever know who she is, what she does, her family dynamic, what her core beliefs are, any of that? Now you're saying to yourself, well, that sounds like an awful lot to get in 15 minutes. I did get it in 15 minutes. All right. I know what her history looks like. I know how old her daughter is, what school she goes to, some of the challenges that she has in raising this daughter, and the transition she's made in her entrepreneurial journey to go from someone that has been, kind of an educator to someone more of a coach, and to see what she is kind of working towards, kind of in an IT centered way. I don't want to give away all the marbles here, right? But here's the deal. In a very quick conversation, she now knows my drivers. I know what her core beliefs are, right? She knows what my core beliefs are. We are very like-minded, and chances are we're going to have the opportunity to exchange names and referrals for each other over the next month, which is really, really cool. If I would have hit connection on LinkedIn and she would have said yes, and I wouldn't have offered the discovery meeting, would we have had a call? Would we have gotten to know each other? And would I be in a position to meet 3 or 4 of her friends that may be able to bring business to Mañana No Mas and the Power Sports Academy? I'm going to say, obviously, the answer is no. So I'm really, really big on these discovery calls. Had a couple of those today. I really, really enjoy them. Obviously, you can hear I'm a little excited about it in my tone, but had those, knocked them out of the park. Well, and then what do? I go into the kitchen and I make myself some homemade hummus. So we made some hummus. We had some flatbread. We had a nice little meal together, me and my wife. And then I'm back in here, back in the work center, and working on just picking up some loose ends on a web project I released a few weeks ago for a customer, and helping her identify some of her funnel wasn't launching the way that we had hoped it would. So Groundhog, those folks are awesome. They jumped in, they helped us on a support ticket. They got the messaging figured out. Adrian Toby and his team are great. If you're not already a Groundhog customer, I say jump in and do it. It puts the CRM, a calendar scheduler, puts funnels, puts all that stuff directly into the back end of my WordPress websites. And it allows me to do everything from a root URL rather than farming everything out to other third-party sites. Really enjoy the product. So anyway, so they help with that. And now I'm talking to you folks. So what a tremendous day. Above and beyond that, I plan on doing a little bit of bicycling today. Not sure exactly what that's going to look like, but I got to get some miles in for the Great Cycle Challenge. And then, of course, I'm super, super excited about Mañana van life. Right. And the Mañana van life is cool. It's that big black E350 you've been seeing all over my social media. So I've been enjoying making some videos about that, making its own social channels and stuff. A lot of people are really into this van life thing. I'm super stoked. I'm not going to live in it full time, but once it's done, we're going to use it for work travel. We're going to be consulting with dealers and meeting with web clients all over the country, driving this thing around and mountain biking and just having a blast. So I pray that your week is going well too, right? Here we are. It's Thursday. We're almost done, right? I've only got a day and a half left on my 20% off sale for the Power Sport Academy. And I've got a handful of dealers I still want to touch base with. So I'm going to cut this short. I'm going to let you guys go. If you are a dealer or you know someone that owns a dealership, please know that, I'm not trying to blow people off. I've only got so many hours in a day, and I've been trying to contact as many folks as I know. But I don't want people to miss out on the 20% sale. If you know somebody that could use, communications training and process training for their fixed operations service department, I would encourage you to refer them to me. We can get a discovery call going and get them signed up so they can take advantage of that 20%. All right, folks, have an awesome day. I will talk to you